After I played here and we didn't come up with the win, it was pretty rough. I had a lot of thoughts, a lot of emotions at the time. I didn't really kind of figure I'd end up here, but Turks are never out the race, so it happened.
What about being the Big 12 coming back here as the Big 10? What's the difference between both leagues? Because one of them doesn't play defense.
Right. I'm not, well, from what I've seen in spring ball, it's a lot more, man coverage instead of, seeing 3-3-5s every week and a lot of zone. So right now it's a bit of a difference. I can, see the difference in their work ethic and, everyone knows what it takes to win in the Big 10. But so far, that's the difference I see.
Is it going to be home instead of going out to Morgantown?
I love being home. Morgantown was a home for me at a time, so it was cool. But it's nothing like being home.
Coach Brown last year at WVU. In interest of full disclosure, I grew up in West Virginia, so followed the program closely. Said had great faith in you. Said a little bit of maturity and like you could be one of the best guys in the country. Do you feel coming home with Coach Locks and his staff gives you the opportunity to do that and take the next level to put yourself out there as one of the best receivers in this conference?
Absolutely. Before I made this move, I thought about it being a life decision instead of a 1 or 2 year decision. And I know Coach Locks and the guys around me and playing for my city would mature me a little bit more than I already was. So I felt like me coming here was the best move for maturity.
Chris kind of asked it a little bit. Those Big 12 defenses can be a little bit different, more spread out, a little bit more physical. Sometimes scoring and big plays aren't at a premium in this conference in the Big 10. What are some things that you can do to use your skill and your experience from playing in the Big 12 to translate in that year?
Really just learn from my mistakes. This being my junior year, way more comfortable than I was the previous year and the year after that, maybe before that. So, it's going to be an experience, really, just to see what the Big Ten has to offer. But at the end of the day, it's never about what the defense does; it's all in your preparation.
You worked with final one for me. You worked with a star quarterback in JT Daniels last year in Morgantown. You've got a star quarterback here in Toledo. What? In the just few months here working with him, what are some of the things that you love about him and what he does?
He's a very outgoing guy. He's gonna make sure you're good, so the whole offense is good. And he looks out for other people before he looks out for himself. So it's great to have Leo by my side. He knows a lot. Played football in the SEC at a time, so he's pretty much seen it all. So Talia is a big plus in my life, really.
And you touched on it. I mean, obviously you got a chance to go through spring ball, and now you're going through workouts and going into fall ball. I guess how do you kind of maybe feel the chemistry is between you, the other wide receivers, and then Talia?
The other wide receivers, I mean, I knew a couple of them before I even came here, so we were all friends before that. But when I got here, it was open arms. Me and Tyrese both. Me and Tyrese bonded throughout our official visit, and Deshaun Jones, Ty Felton, Rob Smith, Octavian Smith, they're all guys that it's a warm welcome. We're all on the same page. That's the biggest thing because we all have one goal in mind.
Talk about the excitement getting the season underway, and what are you expecting out of that offense once you guys hit the field?
Explosiveness. That's the only word. Is explosiveness. But before we become explosive, we got to win at the line of scrimmage. And I know Coach Locks, he went in the portal and some guys coming back. And Coach RD, our strength and conditioning coach, has emphasized in the line of scrimmage. So once we get the trenches good and together, everything else is going to come together.
Coach Gaddis talked about how the wide receiver room has a lot of guys that can do a lot of different things. How things kind of stacked up, and what kind of stuff do you specifically bring to the wide receiver?
So everyone, has a different skill set. Everyone does different things, but at the end of the day, our goal is to help the offense score. Not to score individually, to set up the offense, score the block, score touchdowns. Be verbal, a whole bunch of things like that. And our group is going to be a really special group. The group before us, they laid a foundation to show how the Maryland wide receivers are supposed to play, with Deshaun Jones and Ty Felton already being there. So we're just willing to pick it back up.